I'm glad to welcome you back to our channel once again in a very special way. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you as always for your continued support. That support has been very unwavering and very amazing. Ladies and gentlemen, William Ruto continues to traverse Mount Kenya in his 5-day prolonged tour. A tour that was being used as a yardstick. It was a test to show William Ruto how they feel, how the Mount Kenya fraternity feels after the ouster of Rigathi Gachagua. And William Ruto wanted to understand whether there is any iota of support that he can get from Mount Kenya as he heads to 2027. And I know his think tanks are really following very closely what is happening. Ladies and gentlemen, this Mount Kenya tour comes against a backdrop of many things. Ichung'wah, the majority leader, has been going around the country talking ill of Rigathi Gachagua, defending William Samoei Ruto. And I remember Kimani has been told, why don't you come and say all these things that you're saying outside there? Come and say them in your own soil. And William Ruto really needed to get a true picture of what Mount Kenya feels about him. And today, William Ruto got the answer. You know, the first day William Ruto attended that tour, he started in the home turf of Maina Njenga. And Maina Njenga did a lot of lobbying. Quite a lot of money was used. And William Ruto was well received. And maybe he thought it was going to be smooth all the way. But ladies and gentlemen, let me tell you one thing. It was not the same. Yesterday, we saw the kind of lukewarm reception that they got. We saw how his deputy, Kithure Kindiki, was ignored. If there is one person that people have been waiting for, it is Kimani Ichung'wah. I have been waiting to see how Kimani Ichung'wah was going to be received, whether he was going to be brave enough to talk ill of Rigathi Gachagua. I'm talking about this Kimani Ichung'wah here.
Mimi siwezi tishwa na mtu yeyote. Mimi huogopa Mwenyezi Mungu peke yake, uji moto na umeme, sio binadamu hapa duniani.
The man who said yeye anaogopa tu uji moto, umeme na Mungu peke yake. So today it was his turn to be tested whether his words are true, and this is what happened.
Mheshimiwa Kimani Ichung'wah, leader wa majority katika bunge la kitaifa. Mheshimiwa Rais,
mimi akaida bwana horai ndio hapana. Hawa watu wa Kwale, Mheshimiwa Rais, wamesema hii affordable housing iko hapa, ile mawe yote imejengwa hapo, ikiwemo kablo iko hawa vijana wa affordable housing. Leo monene niye ni ore oteragwo na ria tuga goko karao na Nyandarua yothe gutire mundu ukwenderio guoya na niye ndienderio guoya niguo kana tiguo. Mwathani amurathime, asanteni sana. Haya nimesikia mambo yenu.
I know the question that many political pundits have tried to answer is, why was Kimani Ichung'wah heckled? This one needs no rocket science. Kimani Ichung'wah had to face that wrath because, number one, Kimani Ichung'wah is the one who broke the news that they needed to impeach Rigathi Gachagua. When he told William Ruto that there is a snake in your hand, Mr. President, and you need to shake off that snake, he was referring to Rigathi Gachagua. He's the one who made it clear. He's the one who told us that William Ruto was indeed preparing to impeach Rigathi Gachagua. And as such, people now term him as a traitor. And that is why Kimani Ichung'wah was heckled that much. You see, Kimani Ichung'wah is like a brother setting up his fella to the slaughterhouse. And he has been used by William Ruto all along. And this time around, the people had been waiting for him. You know, Kimani Ichung'wah has had his day. He's too mouthy. The other time you saw him in Western, in Bungoma to be precise, when he took on Natembea. And people have been really waiting for him. He's been marked a wanted man by the common Mwananchi. So today, they got him. Ladies and gentlemen, I think Kimani Ichung'wah now understands. You know, he's been going around telling people that he's that brave man. It is like he's not afraid of anyone. So the intensity of heckling became so huge because he is the man who championed the removal of Rigathi Gachagua. Not only that, he's the one who, together with Mutuse, moved this question because he's the majority leader. He's the one who's in charge of government bills in parliament. And so every burden, every garbage of this Kenya Kwanza government lies on him in parliament. Number two, even after impeaching Rigathi Gachagua, Kimani Ichung'wah is the one who really spoke ill about the Rigathi Gachagua allies in parliament when they were replacing them from the parliamentary committees. Remember how people like Ndindi Nyoro were ejected, and Kimani Ichung'wah is the one who was accusing Ndindi Nyoro of misusing his office and allocated himself too much money. And Kimani Ichung'wah was saying that this is the sole reason why Ndindi Nyoro is bragging of development projects in his constituency. And so Kimani Ichung'wah has been wanted. Number two, Kimani Ichung'wah has been Ruto's point man in Mount Kenya, and is the one who, together with people like Kithure Kindiki, have been trying to check on Rigathi Gachagua. He's too mouthy, he's too abrasive, and people have been waiting for this. So he had to meet the wrath of the people, because heckling him would show William Ruto that they don't want anything that is associated with William Ruto. They don't want anything that is associated with Kimani Ichung'wah. Number three, Kimani Ichung'wah has been placed to try and wrestle the kingpinship with Rigathi Gachagua. It has been a tug of war. It has been a supremacy battle. So sometimes he's been there as an alternative voice, trying to show people that it is not only Rigathi Gachagua that must have a say in Mount Kenya, but today he has been reduced to nothing. They have shown him that he is no match to Rigathi Gachagua. He must now play at the lower cadre, because Rigathi Gachagua has shown him that he is at the higher cadre. And people, if you see the way Kimani Ichung'wah has been carrying himself, it is like Kimani Ichung'wah only understands that William Ruto is everything. He has always disregarded the people. And you see, people's power is always very paramount. Kimani Ichung'wah talks and behaves as if they will be in this government forever, as if this is the first government we have ever seen. He has always looked down on the leaders in Mount Kenya and those who support Rigathi Gachagua. I'm happy that today he was shown, he was placed in his own corner. And you know that Kimani Ichung'wah has been very proud. That's why he's been telling people, yeye anaogopa tu Jimoto, umeme na Mungu. What exactly does this mean? As I always say, William Ruto has completely lost the support base in Mount Kenya. Moving forward to 2027, if he was trying to see whether he can get 1 or 2 votes, it is gone. It is gone. And I think those who have been with him, the NIS, the deep state, have seen exactly what it means. William Ruto will not get anything in Mount Kenya. Number two, William Ruto allies will be shown the door. Hakuna hata mtu mmoja atachaguliwa. That is the reality. People like Kimani Ichung'wah, Kithure Kindiki, all those who have been following him, I believe this is their last term in office. Just like what happened when William Ruto painted Mount Kenya yellow, those who are following, those who subscribe to Uhuru Kenyatta's political ideologies were shown the door. Very few of them came back as parliamentarians. This is exactly what is going to happen to people like Kimani Ichung'wah. They are not going to see light of day. The last one, Rigathi Gachagua has taken over Mount Kenya. Rigathi has locked out William Samoei Ruto. Rigathi will determine, together with the people of Mount Kenya, who is elected in, who is elected out. They will simply determine that. And now, William Ruto knows the strength of Rigathi Gachagua. If they were belittling him, if they were underrating him, they now know that Rigathi Gachagua is not a pushover. Rigathi warned them that all politics is local. When they were accusing him that he was being a village politician, Rigathi told them, I have listened to the ground. Now the ground has spoken. William Ruto has been humiliated. Ichung'wah has been humiliated. And that is the true picture of Mount Kenya. That is the true picture of how Mount Kenya, or what Mount Kenya feels about William Samoei Ruto. That was a sweet revenge to Ichung'wah. And I think what they are now trying to do, they will be tweeting, they will be saying that that crowd was hired, when we all know that the crowd that was hired is that took money to go and welcome William Samoei Ruto. Ichung'wah must start packing and pray that William Ruto is re-elected so that he can be appointed a PS, a CS, or ambassador.